Hi all, welcome back to D-Day at Peleliu. This will be my part 7. So, just still the same day as part 6. Getting a lot done just now. Let's say Tracy left me on mowing for a bit, so I'm getting plenty of time. So, I would imagine I get a couple more parts done today. We'll see, yeah, because the later on it gets, and if I'm still off, so if I have a couple of beers. This is a different game to handle with a drinks rating. Don't know if any of you listen to the podcast. What is it? Advance After Combat. General review a game. They're pretty much drunk throughout the podcast, to be honest. Which is fine. They're having fun. But I think whenever review a game, there's two ratings they give it. They have to give it a score rating and a beers rating. So, the DD at Series wouldn't get quite as high a beer rating as some other game. Well, for instance, Skies Above Britain that I just finished. I think I could cope with that a bit better than this. And I found that, I realised that last night. So that's when I came back for another bit. But we'll see how it goes tonight. I've not had a drink yet. It's a bit earlier on though, so okay, so yeah, just watching back part 6 there. That was the US action phase of turn 5. No, turn 4, sorry. Turn 4 US action phase, and it was an hour long, and I'm just thinking back to that other guy that's rapidly just gets through the videos like he would be able to put that hour. I would reckon he'd have 3 or 4 tons into that hour that I just had one phase in. I don't know if it slows down or what as he goes on. I've not watched any more yet, but because now I'm at the bit where he's just landing his HQs as well, so there's a lot more to do and probably a lot more to think about, but at least you're not limited in your actions as much anymore. So a couple of things I picked up from previous part and one mistake that's been pointed out to me, which annoyed about but not surprised about, because I'm pretty sure I made this mistake in my playthrough did at Tarawa as well. So a couple of things I noticed. I had talked about when we attacked this blue position, and I wasn't getting my numbers right, and we attacked with strength at 8, and I was saying it needed a 2, or 1 or a 2 for me, or we were in trouble. A 3 was going to cause me trouble, but that's not the case. This wasn't getting doubled, so if this had been a 3, we were attacking with 8, so we would have had double the strength, because it's not getting improved. The 3s, I think sometimes you look at that and you double it because you think it's getting doubled, and then look at the numbers you've got. So I think I was thinking it was going to be 8 against 6 if he drew a 3, if it was a 3, but it's not. It was going to be 8 against 3, and in fact, if that had been a 4, as long as we didn't have the weapons and dug deeper into the depth marker, then we would have still had double strength. So maybe it wasn't as bad an attack as I was thinking, but I'm so happy it turned out the way it did, because that should help. The other thing I also noticed, and these were things that I was maybe going to leave comments on, but I thought, it's fine, somebody might leave a comment on it and whatever. When we were using the naval artillery marker to join in the attack, I said that it was going to bring along, but I was going to additionally bring along artillery demolitions and the naval artillery fire. But I was forgetting this tank was in the fire, and I want to say now the amphibious tanks bring something different. I think they bring flamethrowers at tank. It says AR and BZ, so we would have got artillery from the tank and bazooka, but we were getting that from the infantry there anyway. And then if within 3 hexes of a target, add machine gun, and then if amphibious and adjacent to target, add flamethrower. Well, we wouldn't have got that, but it was just I did kind of forget about the tank. The mistake It was Martin's comment. He commented on when I talked about the units going into the. In fact, what did he say about that? Is there no need for this to be here then? I think because the rules were eased, I think that got done away with. Let me find his comment for that first. Yeah, he said this is part 4, 36-minute mark. You no longer track eliminated non-elite units. In the first edition rules, 2 such units were placed in the reserve box during the overnight turn, but that was later changed. Yeah, I think I spoke about that, and I think I realised that there was no point putting them there. So I don't suppose there's any need for that to be in there. You know what? I'm just going to leave it there for now. It's not going to do any harm anyway. So it will only be elite units that turn up there that are going to be used. Right, and then the other comment he made at the 1 hour 15 minute and 15 second mark was my mistake. He says, when you NCC by US withdrawal, you're not disrupted. And yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure I made this mistake in my place of did at Tarawa. And I can't even remember well, it would have been along here, wouldn't it? Would have been this guy. Was it this guy? No, it's not them. It's him, It's him. So he wouldn't have been disrupted at the time, so I potentially could have used him to do something. I mean, he's only a 1-step unit. I'm not so sure he would have been doing anything anyway. No, I'm just going to leave him where he was. So I brought him back and disrupted him, and you're not disrupted after US withdrawal. Does the Japanese unit get disrupted though? That's more important though. Then yeah, in CCI US withdrawal, you're not disrupted. Let's just double check that. I think it does. Oh, I'm not finding anything that tells me that they are disrupted. Martin's comment is, when you NCC by US withdrawal, you're not disrupted. So I initially thought that it was just me that wasn't disrupted. And then I'm trying to find where it says that, but it doesn't say. I mean, it basically says, to withdraw, draw 1 more Japanese card and implement its result, an event, if any, which we did. Then place the surviving US units in a hex adjacent to the close combat hex. If more than 1 hex is available in a hex from which US communication can be traced, then you choose. So it's not telling me we're disrupted, but it's also not telling me the Japanese were disrupted. Oh dear. Oh, no, I thought that was it there, but no, Japanese units and depth markers that survive a close combat remain revealed. Ah, damn it, that's not good then. So, where are we there with that situation? So yellow. Well, yellow clearly didn't come up on the card, so I think I've got away with it in the fact that all I need to do is take that disruption marker away, don't I? Right, I'm going to have to look back on that. Well, he's got it timestamped for me, so that's handy. I'm just going to try and find confirmation of that as well, but I'm not finding anything that tells me the Japanese are disrupted. I mean, if you end by exhaustion, if you end by elimination, the other person is disrupted. That's fine, but we were ending close combat by withdrawing the US units. So I don't think neither party was disrupted. Now hold on here. I actually want to say he was disrupted anyway, wasn't he? And he stayed disrupted throughout. So I think we're okay. Right, hang on a second. Okay, yeah, I did go and just double check. It was asked on a thread in BGG. It was Martin that answered that, saying that yeah, neither party are disrupted from if it's a US withdrawal. And it would kind of be a bit rough if the US weren't and the Japanese were, wouldn't it? If you think about it, I mean, what sense does that make? And doesn't seem right, does it? However, this was disrupted. Nothing changed within the close combat, so I mean, I have to assume that it stays disrupted. And like I say, nothing else happened. And then in the next Japanese fire phase, yellow did not come up on the card. Yeah, I think I've turned it into yellow, haven't I? I knew I would. So yellow did not come up on the Japanese fire card, and then of course the whole last part was just on the US action phase. So nothing, we've not went in our Japanese fire phase. So we've got away with that. But need to watch. Glad it's been brought to attention now. So thanks for that, Martin, and hopefully I won't do that again. The other thing I should have took note of as well, while I was just up there looking for that, was that I sort of quite quickly brought this guy back into this hex. Now, when you withdraw, it's not as simple as just moving back to the hex that you entered from. If you end by exhaustion, that is the case. Return surviving US attacking units to the hex or hexes from which they enter the close combat hex disrupted. So if it was by exhaustion, he would move back there and would become disrupted. But he would move to that specific hex. However, I should have pointed out that, I mean, I'm not that sure if there was any other place for me to go, or if any other hex that was beneficial, but you can mess about with that a bit more when you withdraw. It says, I think I just read it. Then place the surviving US units in a hex adjacent to the close combat hex. If more than one hex is available, in a hex from which US communication can be traced, then you choose. So you could mess about with that a little bit. It doesn't need to be the hex from where you came from, as long as it's in US communication. And if there's more than one, you can get to choose which one it goes into. So something to keep in mind as well. Anyway, so we've got away with that one. Well, whether we could have used that one-step unit in that last action phase, then that's my bad. I don't mind missing out on that because that was my fault. Okay, so thanks for that, Martin. Hal fixed his issue with his, it was his monitor or something, I think. So panic, no panic. Panic over, shall we say. That's panic over. Yeah, he's just commented that I'm turning out parts like a machine. And my reply was, well, when the wife's away, you know, it's, I know I get a lot of time to do it myself. She's very kind to me that way, or maybe I take advantage of it. That's more the reason she would tell you. Okay, so a couple of things to talk about though, and we're 12 minutes in. Yeah, it's going to be one of these. So let's go back to this comment. So quickly, maybe running through John Brown's comments that he left. I didn't really reply to any of these apart from the last one that brings up the issue regarding the advance again, which I'm going to talk more about. You'd be glad to know. But there's more being said. So let's. In fact, I'm not read through it and sort of soaked it in yet. So anyway, quickly running through his comments that I didn't. I just, like I says, thanks for your clarifications. Says that a unit that drifts is not affected by subsequent landing checks. He's in the box that drifts into is now in the last sentence of 5.1 in the version 10 rules. So it was one of the things that got clarified in the addenda. It's not in my rule book, it's in the new rule book. These are all comments from part 2, 14-minute, 18-second mark. That seemed to go really well. He's quoting me. Those are famous last words. The landings aren't quite as brutal in this game as they did at Tarawa, but then again, they're just giving you hope so you don't just quit right away. Which is a nice way of putting it. Yeah, you will see that the landings are. If you do take a hit, to be honest, you are quite unlucky. Well, maybe one hit out of the bunch isn't too bad, but you've got a higher chance of getting in on the beach without any damage at all, really. But yeah, like John says, it's just easing you into thinking your things are going to go smoothly for you. 15-minute, 50-second mark. Elise rules as written, you're only allowed to leave units in the landing boxes if there isn't room. You cannot do so to just avoid a concentrated target. Fair enough. But like you say later, it's landing into intense fire, so having a concentrated target is totally moot. Yeah, so you can't leave a guy here You can only leave somebody here, and well, you have to leave them there if there's no space to land it. You can't just do it if there is space, though, right? Okay, good stuff. 28-minute mark. A/1/5 decodes to A, also known as Able Company. So that's a company letter, A Company, of the 1st Battalion of the 5th Regiment. All the units in the game are from the 1st Marine Division, the regiment's parent. So there you go. I think I just told you to go and look it up in the rules, didn't I? The 55-minute mark, I'm not quite sure what happens here, but he says this is why you don't say that seemed to go really well. So something bad must have happened. The hour and 22nd mark, rules is written, I don't see anything wrong with taking a preservation move after an attack. No, I don't think there is any there. I want to say there might have been some, could it have been in Saipan when I done the Saipan playthrough? I think it was, maybe. But that's all sort of like been forgotten about, isn't it? I want to say that there was the rules in there sort of dictated that the preservation moves or had to be done at a specific time in the actual, you couldn't just do them when you wanted. I might be wrong. Maybe that's where it came from. And then his last comment was regarding the advance, right? So I had replied to him, basically just saying, go and look at the video footage from part 5, and I give him the timestamp to where it was rather than hunting about for it, because he might also not want to look at that video till he's ready to look at it, but I thought he might want to look at the point that we were making, and he must have done and he's come back. So, but I think he's still in the belief, he's still sticking by the fact that he believes this to be an unoccupied hex for purposes of the tank advance action, I think. What he says here is, for some reason I always interpret closer to a US unit as closest, and that messes me up. So he's agreed the fact that, let's put the tank back. His initial view was that he wanted to move to here or here, and this one was allowed. Nobody's disagreeing with that. The first priority, however, is unoccupied before occupied. So, but that's why Martin says it moves here, and I tend to agree with him, but I can see why this could be considered as unoccupied. John believes this to be unoccupied, so but then John gets a mistake and feels that this is closest to the US unit, but that's not what it says in the rules. He agrees with that. He says he's picked that up wrong, and he's done it before, blah blah blah. So he then carries on. In actual fact, 0716, which is here, is probably the right call since it is unoccupied and closest to the tank's original position. Well, it would be, and that's where I moved it to. But however, I then got pointed out to me that this wasn't unoccupied, and I still tend to believe that that's right, though I do understand John's thinking with us. So he says, which seems to be what the part 3 intro is leading to. I'm still not to the actual decision yet, but I figured I'd come back and correct myself. So he's not seen all of that yet, so he's maybe got more to say on this matter. But Martin's added something too, so let me just put that back there just now, just in case I get muddled up. So we'll see what more John might have to say about how that pans out. So now, where's Martin's comments on this then? Yeah, here we are. Right, so 3 replies. So, right, I left in the comments any thoughts on John's last comment from above, the fact he's believing this to be an unoccupied position hex. It is an unoccupied position hex. Well, let's just say that he believes it to be, for the purposes of the advance, to be unoccupied, right? So Martin says, when making an advance, one preference is to move to an unoccupied position. He's just saying unoccupied position there, rather than an occupied one. In this example, it's clear that the orange position is occupied. And it is, and now the words he's only using there are just position. Not position hex, not position group, just position. it's clear that the orange position is occupied and consequently you should move to the blue position. And I agree with him. I think he's right there. But I don't, like, I'm not knocking John's thinking for saying that, hold on, in the actual advanced rules it talks about a position hex, unoccupied position hex, which that technically is. However, Martin does carry on. We know that the use of position, position hex, and position group in the Pacific titles have led to some confusion, and I can send you a PM, a private message, where I add some additional thoughts about the wording here. So, I hope the fact that you've sent this as a private message, Martin, you don't mind me just reading through this right now, but I don't think you had sent it with the intention of me keeping it hush-hush. I might be wrong though, but if I'm wrong, you're not going to like what I'm just about to say. So, advance action. Now, I haven't, there's quite a bit, I suppose, so, yeah, I'd like to read through this though, and you know what, I'll put a comment in the header at the start of this video. Looks like it's going to be a 30-minute intro, me just bothering. Right, so now just glancing through, there's nothing here that I think he's wanting to keep hush hush. I think he just wanted to send it as a message because it was quite long-winded. Okay, so hi Grant. Let me just bring it up here, I suppose. So sometimes people try to follow along, listen to my voice, might not be. I suppose this is a private message, yeah. Yeah, you're not going to find this anywhere, are you? Okay. Hi Grant. I'll just add to my reply on YouTube that I'm aware of the issues with the wording. I believe you, me, John Brown, and many others all were confused by the equidistant part of the text. Yeah, and I understand why John thinks it means to get as close as possible to the nearest US unit, which we now know is not what you should do. Right, that's clear, and I think John realised that as well when I pointed him towards that he realised that he's done that before, and it's easy to do because the whole equidistant part, and you kind of feel like you should be moving closer to. But anyway, so that bit's fine, right? So the advanced rule tells you to move the tank to a position hex rather than to move to a position. Okay, it is obviously always true that you move to a position hex. Okay, perhaps they wanted to point out that it's not your choice which position hex you move to when you move to a hex within a position group. That said, I would have preferred that they didn't mix the terms because it leaves room for interpretation. I could speculate that the intention is, if you use the terms as they are defined earlier in the rulebook, it's clear to me that in your example, the advance action tells you to avoid the orange position group because that is occupied. I can't see how the earlier use of the term position hex can change that. Okay. My problem is with the last part of the advance action, where it says that if you move the tank to Japanese occupied position, you swap positions and place the non-armour unit in the position from which the tank unit advanced. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, because I've not read on yet. But yeah, if this wasn't a tank, if this was just a normal Japanese infantry unit, and we had moved, and we did move it from here. No, it would. Right, maybe you should just read on, Grant, because surely it wouldn't. Yeah, just read on. You're trying to make up things here. My problem is with the last part of the advance action where it says that if you move the tank to a Japanese occupied position, you swap positions and place the non-armour unit in the position from which the tank unit advanced. If your only choice was to advance to the orange position, okay, yeah, that could be the only option here, fair enough. And that one of the position hexes is occupied by Japanese infantry unit. Should you then swap positions, even if the tank moves to the other position hex in the position group? Okay, going by the letter of the rule, you should. Next question. When you move the infantry to the tank starting position, should it be moved to the same position hex? Most likely, yes. As you can see, You have to make some assumptions, and while you can claim that the rule does indeed explain what to do, it's not exactly crystal clear. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, what he's saying there is, if for some reason, that was out of range, that was within, that wasn't 3 hexes away, and our only option was to move here, and this was just an infantry unit, remember? The only option was to move to this position, then, well, he assumes that you would move it to here, but then does that then mean that the infantry then moves back to there from there? So, oh, damn. See? Oh, you know what? That's the tank ones. I can shimmy them about. I seen a 2. I don't know what layers were on it. Okay, the four depth markers of the tanks they're different. I can shuffle them up. They're all armored depth like that. So let me put that back. I can shuffle these up. Because we had a little look at that. That's what worries me about this game. Right, I'll bring them off here and I'll shuffle them up and I'll distribute them again between the 4 tanks. You don't need to see all that. I had it set up from the beginning. I'm not going to look at things and manipulate things. Clearly there's no point in all that. Yeah, so you can see where things are with it, right, interesting to maybe see what if John's got any other view on that, but I think Martin's right about it all regarding position, even though it says it talks position X here, and John believing that is an empty position hex, but I don't think that is what the intention of it is. I think that's what Martin's trying to say. I think what it's meaning, and it's got an unfortunate way of wording it, but I think what he's saying that this is still classed as a position and it is occupied. This position is occupied. Okay? That's the bottom line. Doesn't matter if it's saying position hex or whatever. This position is occupied. So if there's an option to go to an unoccupied position, which there is, that's where you go. Okay, so thanks for that, Martin. That's the way I'm going to play with it for now. And I'm pretty sure Martin's probably brought this up to Mr. Butterfield. When he's been chatting to him on the hotline, he's probably mentioned something at some point down the line. So, he's obviously not got any more info that says anything different from that. So let's just leave it like that for now. Yeah, well, we'll see if John's got any more input into that. Okay, let me get these depth markers back. I was just putting them back and I've done it again, so I'm having to shuffle them again. Right, we got there the third time I shuffled them again and they went back. Yeah, I'm just scared to go near the counters. I don't know if the bigger tweezers would help me, because you can see there's plenty of space there. I'm not really sure if they would. I think I'm better just sticking with what I've got. I don't think it's a tweezer issue. Okay, back to the game, yeah? So 28 minutes, I'll try and track that and put comment in the header if anybody's wanting to bypass all that. Let me get my tablet back on charge though. Right, here we go. So turn 5, second event kicks in. The R action is now played, and that's the R action. Catastrophic loss comes into play. So 10 catastrophic losses and it's game over. We're sitting with 7. So it could end in this turn. Actually, it is possible. Let's hope not, because we're just about to land our HQs and have some fun, or have some less stressful sort of thinking about what do I do with 2 actions. Okay, so landing cards now. Well, let's get up the rule just in case. Is there anything? No, I think we could. Come on, so I could probably use that. I've not been looking again about the guidebook thing again. Just feel like I like to just jump to the rule now. Although this would tell me exactly what I need here. It's just for the HQ landing, Landed check for HQs, yeah, page 10, 5.11. HQ units do not have a target symbol, and so are not subject to drift or step loss during landing checks. Yeah, that's it. And remember, they don't take up, they don't count for stacking purposes. So, white 2. Now, what's firing into there? Well, nothing actually. Nothing. Blue and red are disrupted. We got blue, red, and purple disrupted. Well, this was disrupted due to an attack. This didn't undisrupt, and this didn't undisrupt, and this we disrupted due to attack as well. Well, that was a bit, nah. Yeah, the one time you were looking for a unit that got down to the depth, that was the attack, and it just didn't happen there, but, well. Yeah. Okay, I thought after the first 2 units we exposed, one had flanking on it, one had CC on it. Thought we might have got lucky. Well, we did eliminate one unit, didn't we? So I suppose maybe I'm not just deliberately forgetting that one. Right, let's draw. Well, we still need to draw a card, don't we? Yeah, because there's units here. We do need to draw a card. Yeah, because we could get a drift. We could get a drift. We probably don't want a drift, so here we go. No drift. Good. Right, it'll be a purple triangle. Right, that's going up there. But purple's not in there, and there's no triangles actually. So that's that one done. Then we've got orange 2, and it's brown and yellow firing into there. We've got them covered as well, so good. So all we can get here would be a drift. We get a drift left. A triangle though? No, nothing. Yeah, we're only like looking at that circle there, really, aren't we? So nothing can drift because there's no triangle, and nothing was getting hit. Finally, orange 3 is brown and purple, and this is disrupted, and we've got that, so all good there as well. So unless this is a triangle with a drift, diamond no drift, so no problems there at all. So let's land these guys. Okay. Well, the most important one here is the HQ in it. So the choices are here, here, or here. And remember, he can go here, even though there's 2 units in here. I mean, it seems to be more sensible putting them here. And put the oh, that's an engineer. I'm thinking that was an infantry HQ. You know what? I'm going to have a glance for these engineers. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is they do. Yeah, I'm not good with retaining all rules. I know I like to play everything by the rule, but that's why I have to reread all the rules before I start these games again. Right, engineers don't do anything in this game. Well, I done a search in the online rulebook for engineer, and nothing came up. I mean, they can do the same as an infantry unit, as an attacking, etc. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, Omaha, you needed them to establish. Oh no, that's how you got the what was that? You got the counters. The counters that let you do things, gave you free actions and done other things, or you could build garrisons with them. You got so many of them per turn. Was that was Omaha, wasn't it? And maybe I'm just imagining that there was something in Tarawa with them. Okay, so that's fine. Well, unless somebody tells me otherwise, we'll just treat them. So there are 2 steps. They do have a flamethrower and demolitions. So there you go, there's a great use for them. So, well, in actual fact, well, we might be flanking that guy anyway. So I'm thinking, where was I thinking that it's either going here or here, isn't it? I think here's better, because that gives all these 3, well, and more, because this is going to go somewhere as well. Yeah, I don't want to put that in there though, no. So I think we want to land that in there, and I'll probably put that underneath, because that's only 6 steps, because green is firing into there. with a steady fire, so we don't want to concentrate the hex. And then that would only be 6 steps in there. So that goes in there, and then that HQ goes on top of that. Excellent. So now we can give all these a free action. He's going to get a free action anyway if he's still up and running, that is. Well, I think if this fires now, it's hitting this, isn't it? Yeah, and I remember looking back on that bit as well, and I should have took note of the fact that if this fires, it's going to hit this, and then that's going to then allow this to have a nibble like that. On saying that, this does give her flank, so... Well, what you could do is he could get a free action, and the infantry HQ could attack into there. Or he could get an action to attack into there. Yes, you could. Right, okay, so moving along here. 3 boxes here. Now this is a guy that needs CC'd. But we're fine with any one of these. Well, where's the HQ going then? Well, it can either go there, or there. Ooh. Well, remember you've got an HQ coming in along here, Grant, which probably the best place is going to be here, isn't it? You would think. And then probably put that engineer. Well, the engineer can either go there or there. So am I not better just landing these first then? I'd probably just stay out of that blue position though. Why risk getting hit by this steady blue? I mean, okay, I still don't know where I'm going yet. I was watching a little bit more of the guy, and he's talking about his strategy is to go up through here to actually try and take these. That's his plan. I mean, I suppose the good thing about this is you can move 3 hexes at a time. As long as nothing is firing into there. I mean, that yellow stretches to there. Well, it's steady yellow anyways as well. This blue goes down to here, but there's a wee corridor there where you could run up, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm sort of thinking that some of this is going to come this way, and maybe we can do. As for down this corner, he talks about this as well, and I think he's heading to. His plan is to move away from that. I think you need to. If we can take this blue and red position, I think I'd be happy, and then just to fall back and build some kind of force to eventually come and get that as well. So. Yeah, I also heard him mention. I think he mentioned the word double VPs. Was that how he called it? Oh, maybe not VPs. What is it? Secure. We're trying to secure these positions. Maybe he called it double VP. And I think what he's meaning there is because the A and the Bs, the Cs and the Ds. Where are the Ds? There's the Ds. Ds are up there. Yeah, these all count as. Well, he's counting them as 2 points because that takes the requirement for 1 more point away from A or B, doesn't it? Isn't it something like that, isn't it? Yeah. So I think that's why it's maybe important to get up there. Maybe his plan is only to get these positions here that are D's. And then that then takes the requirement away from needing these B's. And leaving this. So if you've got some of the C's or the D's, you can ignore some of the B's. That's C, is that? That's C there. And just ignore this stuff, maybe. And then you take the rest of this though. Something like that. Because in the normal rules, I think you had to have A and B and so much of C and D, didn't you? Whereas now, if you get a bit of C and D, it allows you to have less of A and B, I think. Well, we did just read that yesterday, so. Okay, right, come back to Earth, Grant. You're away somewhere. Right, I think I might land these 2 first then. See, grabbing these 2 guys here. That HQ would have to come in here, or that HQ would have to come in here. And you know what? This guy's got an infantry HQ with him, so that's not the worst place to be. But it's stupid putting that HQ into there if we were going to put that HQ into there. I don't think we are going to do that. I think we're putting it in here. So yeah, I can't stack that like that, unfortunately. So well, you're better putting that in there and that in there and put that in there then. I mean, that they could all go in there, I suppose. If you're putting that in there, it's not helping anything, but this is getting the free move from the HQ anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay, I think that makes sense. And then now that then means I can put this HQ... Well, actually, that would give him... Give whatever was put in there anyway a free action. Should I put that engineer up there then? Just feels like he's slightly further in field, doesn't he? Yeah, I think I will do that then. That hex, it just feels like that hex is one hex further on is all. So I think we've decided the HQ's going in there then. Well, I think I'm putting the engineer in there as well. Yeah, I don't want to bother with that hex. So there and there. Good, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for now. But, so where am I next? That was us landed things. Right, is there anything for the next turn? There's nothing to land in the next turn. Turn 6. So we've nothing to set up. So we move on to the first event, don't we? Yeah. Right, let's start with a good one. Come on. Event turn 5. Right, add the depth marker at 1 Japanese unit. Again, it is just 1. I think these are... the green one's going to get in it. Damn. That now means if it fires, it's going to hit that and that, I think. Well, actually, we could probably force the issue and have it hit that one. Because I think that's 3 steps as well, isn't it? Oh, it doesn't matter. These are my own. I'm just panicking. Because I mean, I'd hate to flip lights that counter over. I mean, all I could do is shuffle these all up with it and put one back. That's the best I could do. I'm not going to dismantle all the ones that are out there and whatever. Okay. So is that a green position then? I think so. I don't think there's any beach landing boxes. That's got depth. That's got depth. That's adjacent. That's got depth. Yeah. That's got depth. That's got depth. Yeah, it's a green one, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely has got. Right, okay. So, depth marker. And that's in the jungle as well, isn't it? Damn. Okay, so not a good event to start us off. Right, let's just push on, get a Japanese fire card done, and maybe, 44 minutes, so I can at least cut the part, and then we can come back and do something. Well, assuming we're not dead. Okay, here we go. Japanese fire. Turn 5, we have the M action and the R action now. And obviously artillery is in place, and we've got some artillery this time. 4. Now, I didn't mark them. I want to say, again, watching that guy's videos. Sorry, I keep saying that guy. Lockdown Gaming. I don't think there's a name that not a name that I'm aware of anyway, but I haven't studied any that much, just put a little bit of it on. I want to say he started with 8 artillery, so I think there's 8 to start with. Probably if you look, probably should have noted that. Maybe if I look in BGG, see that, I mean, there's 1 there. I mean, there's definitely more than 4. There's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, right? We've got 4. We know we've got 4. I want to say it's maybe 8. That's another one. 5, 6. Or did I count that one already? I don't think so. I think there's 8. That seemed to ring a bell on me. So we're going to get that anyway. So what's firing? Red, green, and brown, and we do have the R action in green and the M action in brown. Okay, so the P action is not applicable yet. So I think now I might start looking at the colours from left to right, because it might start getting a bit messy. So I'm going to look at the red first. That's just a straight up fire for red, and I'm going to go from left to right. However, there is a tank up there. There's nothing red here. I want to go from left to right, but then go out the way regarding the letters. But there's a tank up here, so he's gonna. I don't think he can do anything. Or can he switch places? Yeah, he will be able to, won't he? Well, he's got the default action of fire or advance, isn't he? Japanese tanks, default tank action, fire or advance. A tank activated by position colour without alerted action, or with the I action, performs fire or advance. So if no yes units are in tanks through the fire, move the tank unit depth marker if any to position exits unoccupied or occupied. Right, well we've talked about this enough, so hopefully we can deal with this right. So I'm as well doing this first. Now, there's nothing as closest US unit as probably the likes of this. So as long as he's getting closer to this, I mean, it might be something similar to that. It can't find anything unoccupied here. There's nothing it can move to unoccupied. Remember, it's 3 hexes. But it could switch. No, it can't switch places with armoured unit. Yeah, that is unoccupied or occupied by a non-armoured Japanese unit. So he can't look at this. He can look at this. That's 3 away. Is that a position then? So we're at the mountain. These are kind of different, aren't they? Because they're like got triangles. Mountaintop positions. Ooh. Well, I mean, I think he's going to go here and switch places with that. Because it's got to be within 3. So what the priorities are, unoccupied first. Well, he can't do that. Then the position closest to the tank unit's current position. Oh, well, okay, well that would be that then, wouldn't it? I think that one's okay. I'm not sure if the tanks can go up to these. Mountains. Does it talk about mountains and tanks? Or where are they? Mountain level 1, 2, and 3. Mountain. Yes, but must stop. 2. US infantry may not conduct. Right, okay. Yeah, I think they can go up there. But I think he's going to go there. As long as that's getting closer, right? His closest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Right, there's 2 that are 11 away here. Actually, there's 3 that are 11 away. If he moves to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, he's going to be 9 away. He's going to be closer there, but remember, this is about that John sort of didn't get right, but knows about, I think. So, and the next priority is closest to where it's come from. So I think, yeah, it's going to switch places with that. So let's just double check there. Unoccupied position, didn't have that. Then position closest to the tank unit's current position, which is that one. Then to the highest numbered position. A tank unit will move to a Japanese occupied position only if the unit in that position can trace Japanese communication. Well, it could. If the tank moves to a Japanese occupied position, the two units swap positions, place the other unit and its depth marker in the position from which the tank unit advanced. Okay, good. That's fine. So that was a red tank. And what you've got to remember when you do that is, see, sometimes I would probably just do that, because if I got distracted and then later on come back, right, and yellow was on this card, you know, I might then try and activate that tank again. Yellow's not on this card, so probably not an issue. But again, well, that's not going to do anything though, is it? That red position. Right, okay, so I'm still looking at red, coming along, nothing, and we're just looking at firing for red, so that's going to undestruct, but I'll wait to leave them to the end. There's nothing more red's going to do, firing-wise, right? Okay, so let's do the green R action. Right, let me get that open. I could probably use that, but you know what? I'm going to want to look at it in the rules, I'm sure. But I can use this chart to guide me. The charts are good. So this is if they're occupied. This is if they're unoccupied. This is if it was a tank. Which, do we have a green tank? No. The two tanks are in blue and yellow, so we're not going to do any more with the tanks, right? So the R action is here. So if there's US units in the field of fire, we're going to resupply, place a depth marker, if none, and fire. If there's no US units in the field of fire, they're going to redeploy, so that it's similar to the tank. They're going to move to position within 3 hexes and closer to the nearest US unit. Again, and then if the units in the field of fire, they're going to fire. And then if it's unoccupied and within 3, they're going to reinforce by placing a unit and a depth marker in the position and fire. And like we've said, there's no tanks. So, oh god, right. Well, we're getting a reinforce right away in here. It's not going to fire, but okay. So that's the first thing that's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah, I've just realised that this position's firing, isn't it? I mean, the R part of it's not going to do anything because it's got depth anyway. So, to be honest, I suppose that the fact that built depth through the event has kind of saved us a little, because it would have been building depth anyway and then firing. So, that didn't really matter. Right, but the first green position's here. It's unoccupied, it's within 3 of a US unit, and it's in Japanese communication. So we are going to have a depth marker in there and a reserve unit. And then it would fire. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can fire at, so that's that. Right? And then moving along. So, and yeah, I mean, technically within this colour, you're meant to go out the way like that, aren't you? But I think I'll see that and I'll catch that if it's an issue, right? So this is then just going to straight up fire, isn't it? Resupply. So it would resupply, which is place a depth marker and if none, and then fire. So it's going to hit 2 things. Like we said, this is 4 steps. Now this is 3. This is not intense, I don't think. This is steady. These are both in intense. In fact, I think that's only 2 intense hexes. So it's going to hit F25 and disrupt it. And then I'm kind of hoping we're just going to disrupt E25 above here as well, because this is C15. Both of these are intense. They're both 3 steps. So, intense, fired up priority, unit with most steps are both 3. Closest to firing unit, they're both the same player choice, yeah. So now I can at least, because if I take that guy out, yeah, I'm clearly better taking E25. You know what that is, Grant? That's another catastrophic loss. So e2, 5, well, both of these are going to be disrupted anyway, so I'll put that one down the bottom. F2, 5 on top. Disrupting marker. And that goes to make the catastrophic loss 8. Yuck. Okay, that's its 2 hits. So that's it done. Now, is there any other green? No, well, we've got this one here. So yeah, hang on. Let's come back here a little bit. We are jumping the gun a little bit. These 2 green positions are occupied, not used. So they're wanting to redeploy. So again, we're meant to go from here out the way. So, well, this is in line with this one away along here. I don't think they can interfere with each other. I'll go left to right though, so I'll do this one first. So, redeploy. It's kind of similar to the advanced thing. It's an occupied position with no US units in its field of fire. So, redeploys to an unoccupied position X within 3 X's of its current position and closer to the nearest US unit. Right, it maybe can't actually, because these don't change places with each other, do they? It needs to be an unoccupied position hex. And again, there's the words. So, I mean, my take there is that's the same word as unoccupied position X. So, for instance, see if this infantry unit was here, then this is the same thing. I mean, and I know John's right to say that this is an unoccupied position X, but I'm pretty sure in Martin's eyes this would be exactly the same. This wouldn't be unoccupied, so it wouldn't be able to move there at all. So, right, I don't think he can move 3 hexes and get closer, can he? No. So he's going to do nothing then. Yeah, if these conditions are not met, position conducts no action. Within 3 hexes of the current position, closer to the nearest unit. Yeah. And it does say to an unoccupied position. Yeah. It's not like that's the difference. The advance is that the tank would switch places where, would maybe move to here and switch places with that one. That doesn't do that. So this one, however, though, could move here if it's getting closer. Well, I know I should be looking along here, but these aren't going to interfere. It's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 away. If it's there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So that is going to redeploy to there. That is an unoccupied position. He didn't have more than one. That's not true. This brown position is, but I don't know if that's getting closer. What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not any closer. Well, 6, 7, 8, 9. So see, that would be getting closer to that. But I'm pretty sure what we do is we fix in the nearest US unit first, and closer to the nearest US unit. So the nearest US unit for this guy is this guy. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait a minute. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, okay. A11 here is the same. So these are the these are the 2 closest units. Don't think anything else. Yeah, these are 9 away, and these are clearly 9 away. Okay, so they're the 2. So there's more than one. So that is clearly going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away from that, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away from that. So that is a legitimate choice. Now, is this? So that was 8 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. So that's out. So it is there. Okay. So it is a purple position, and it's getting closer to both its nearest US units. Okay, I think that's good. We're good. Yeah, and again, see when I moved that, I would want to do that just in case I then looked on the car and purple was on the car and I then try to do something with that. But I might start doing that if it gets a bit complex. But yeah, so this is still green we're doing, isn't it? Yeah, so there's no more occupied green, and this redeployed. Sorry, this reinforced, didn't it? We've done this green, it fired. So this green here, it's closest. I don't think that's going to move. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 away from that. 1, 2, 3, 4 away from that. These are its two closest. You can see that it can't move any closer, so it's going to do nothing. And yeah, it's not got US units in its field of fire, so that does nothing. This one here, there's nowhere to go either, is it? These are all occupied, so yeah, it's nowhere to go. This one, well, no, there's the thing. This is not unoccupied. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it moved there, 1, 2, 3. See, you could get caught with that. I'm going to stick by how it's been spelled out by Martin regarding this. So, because this is not an unoccupied position. The Japanese unit in the position hex redeploys to an unoccupied position hex. See, it doesn't word it like that. That's just yeah. I'm not going to do it though. This, if I'm going to stick by what he's saying here and say that this is occupied, whether John's going to take that on board or whether he's going to whether he'll play it the way he's playing it, that's fair enough. You can sort of understand. I'm hoping John might come back and say something about it all. But I'm going to say that is not an unoccupied position. And I know it says unoccupied position hex, which that's wrong. Just if they'd worded it unoccupied position rather than unoccupied position hex, it would have been more solid, you know. But I know, I guess they didn't expect the issues that they've had with that when they first brought it out. And this doesn't come from Peleliu alone, it comes from Tarawa as well. And according to Martin, he's just saying the Pacific Games, so it mustn't have been that they had this issue in Omaha, where there were maybe not position groups in Omaha, they weren't maybe joined together, maybe, something like that. Right, so was that all the green? Yeah, we checked that guy, we've done his fire. Right, yeah, I think that's all the green. So we've now got brown. So, yeah, brown's down here, isn't it? So brown can bring along fire with machine guns, mortar fire, I want to say that's 4 hexes, muster, and then multiple fire if it was a tank. Well, no tanks again. So, yeah, unoccupied. If it's occupied with no S units in the field of fire, it's going to be mortar fire, isn't it? Well, this one here, yeah, I still feel it coming left to right, and it talks about doing it that way. It's kind of annoying. Well, let's just do what it says. So the first one to go from here to here is this one. It's got US units in its field of fire, so it's going to fire normally. Oh no! We're dead. Oh, come on. I've got the whole night ahead. I did say that, I remember saying that if a brown or yellow diamond came up, then I think we're dead. And it would have to be... Yeah, can't stop this. So brown firing with machine guns. If it's got US units in its field of fire, it's going to just do normal fire, but it'll also extend its fire to machine guns. It's got 2 hits to dish out. This is an intense brown. This is an intense brown, but it's a leader. So then it goes to steady brown. Now hold on. Could the machine guns save me? No, I don't think they could. I want to say was machine guns not extended from intense fire, wasn't it? That's only steady fire into there as well. Because if it could fire into there, we'd be fine. And it can't because it's steady in it. It's I'm not getting out of that somewhere. A hex adjacent to an intense hex when fire is type M. Thing is, to be honest, that's priority 3 anyway. So it doesn't matter. Priority 2 is steady fire. So it looks here, it hits this guy, which is a catastrophic loss. Number 9. And then it wants steady, well that's intense, but it can't take that out. We don't even have the option, I don't believe. So then it looks to steady fire, and the only steady fire brown is in here. So it's looking for a diamond. That's a diamond. That's game over. Wow, that was harsh. Just when I was settling in to like make it happen. Oh man. And I'm just at the beginning of the night. 3, 6, 9, 10. Catastrophic loss is 10. Wow, I mean, I didn't think things were that bad, but there you go. I don't think I'm missing anything. I don't think there's any way out. I remember talking about it, that we had two possible hits down here, and then there was another one. Because did we not start the round with 7? And then yeah, one of the guys in here got taken out, didn't he? Man. Right, well, I'm going to go and set up for another shot because that's rubbish. I don't want to just carry on and ignore it this time because sometimes there's a sign there that's saying you're not doing very well if it's going to end the game just like that. And maybe you should start again. I mean, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like it's all that bad, I suppose, because we're just landing our HQs and we know now we can start doing some stuff. Right, well, it might not be that difficult to reset, I suppose. I mean, there's not enough a lot of death markers out there. I could probably I'll just grab some of them out the middle maybe and... Right, okay. Well, that was a bit of a dampener then, wasn't it? Okay, I'll be back with DD at Peleliu Take 2 sometime soon. Cheers.